Well, there you are. Again. Charlie Greer podcast. I do this every day. Today, so confident in their idiocy. Man, I look haggard today. Well, see, oh, first let's please like, share, and subscribe. Um, and if you want to support the channel, the information's in the description for Zelle. Let's do this. So, confident in their idiocy. Well, there's a bunch of people they're only confident in their idiocy or their insecurities. Then they project that onto you. Notice that? You try to talk some sense into someone or try to uplift them, and that's a lot of people. Yeah, that's the world. That's the media. That's politicians. Everybody. Kind of the Kid Rocks of the world. I'll probably be losing some people today. So, yeah, they're confident in their idiocy. I mean, I hate to keep on saying that, but that's what it is. They're only confident in what and they're braggadocious about it. And they're peacocking around like, yeah, look at that dumb I am. Really? Like, I can see how you don't have to peacock because I can, and there's a lot of people. See, that's how you want to win something over, fight a war. You don't do it with bullets, man. You put certain people in power and they'll tear it all down. This is ancient knowledge. They've been doing this forever, people. They want somebody that's control. They want a certain IQ around 92 to 103. Those people you don't have to tell them what to do. They'll just ruin stuff. Oh, you want to collapse a corporation so you can steal all the money? Here you go. Here's the new CEO. I mean, they're vindictive. They usually are formulating what they're about to say or repeat when you're talking to them. You can't reach these people, man. They contradict. You can't even. They'll interrogate you with a series of questions. It's supposed to be a conversation. See, there's a difference between a conversation and an interrogation. Now, if you people are listening out there, you gotta nip that in the butt, because it seems like people are doing that more and more often. Where you can't have a conversation with them. They're just like, well, I think. Even if you like simple things. Like I've had people like ask me for directions, and I start telling them, "What is that? What I should do?" And I ain't gonna. You stop me. I don't even know you. You ask me for directions. You idiot. I mean, come on. Then stomp off like peacock away like they did something smart. But try to uplift them. Try to talk sense about or talk like business with. Oh my God, that really sets them off about you should do it. They literally think it's like some kind of magic or some people come out of the sky that start businesses and shit. They don't have any foresight. Creatively, they're dead. There's a lot of YouTubers on there that are just following the fool. They don't have any kind of again creativity, not a bone in their body. Usually they're coattail riding off of something. Walt Disney or Misery or Star Wars or toys or you know what I mean? And there's a bunch. See, a lot of these people think they're smart. They think they're smart. Vocabulary doesn't make you smart, and you sound smart. Algebra doesn't really make you smart. I mean, a little smarter. But to get to those higher levels of intelligence, you need foresight. You can flunk, you're doing an IQ test, you can flunk all the math. And if you've got that foresight, you've got those skills, you'll test higher. People don't want you to think that. Coding, computer coding, they don't make it. Man, a monkey can do coding, man. Computers, come on. And I hate to be ranting like a madman, but that's what I do. I mean, I have a podcast to do every day, and I rant and rave. And it's just frustrating because there's always been these kind of barriers. You know, anytime I've tried to do something, usually in the arts or something creative. Here they come. You're not even like, I didn't ask you for, well, I was just trying to, now you just shut the fuck up, Well, he's mean. Well, yeah, if I'm going to defend I guess I am. Again, there's a certain walk they have. There's a certain, the Napoleon complex. Come on, man. This all is the same shit. You got, I mean, honestly, you got to have some humor about it. Because most of the time, the smartest thing you can do is play dumb. Especially if they got the draw on you. Say if you're in a situation where you're in their circle of power, well, don't say everything, it's like, dang, so that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people that are literally like, don't have a complete thought in their head, and they're everywhere. They're in power now. It usually not be as much like, as far as the percentage, it's like, man, we're at like in the high 90s percentile of these people that are, again, if you want to ruin something, you want to keep people down, it's too obvious to do it with like a war or bullets or this, that, and the other. You understand what I'm talking about? We're talking about the intelligence world does this too. Okay. You put people in power that are like, look, you don't have to tell them what you're doing. You don't have to tell them your plan. You just got to prop them up. Hey, look at me. I'm the mayor and the sheriff, They will burn the whole town down. Give them enough time. Usually a slow burn. So when I was coming up, I was a kid of the 70s, teenager of the 80s, which was awesome. There's always been this. Then all through time, it'll get higher and it'll slip. It's we're back in the creative dark ages, basically. And creative could be a lot of. It's not just painting and all this. You could be a gardener and be creative. You can be a plumber and be creative. The arts are dead. Music industry dead. It's weaponized. It's propaganda. It's a weapon. I heard the other day about how Jay-Z and Beyonce are they're tied as the most like Emmy. Oscar. Not what is it called? Grammys. 88 each. See, this is another thing. They do these stupid things. See, their numbers and their symbols and stuff will be their downfall. What are the odds of Jay-Z and Beyonce having the most, and they're a couple, of course, having the most Grammy wins? That smells to high. Come on, huh? You mean to tell me that they're better than name anybody, And Beyonce, okay. Was she in Destiny's Child? And I forgot it used to be Atlantic, Electric, and Warner. WEA. Okay. And she was the first woman of color to get in charge of that. Just like the late 90s. Control that. And she burned it to the ground. Matter of fact, to put money, they needed a lot of money to get Beyonce to where she's at. They dismantled Destiny's Child. They dropped Motley Crue, Metallica. You dropped Metallica, Motley Crue. Those people actually make money. Matter of fact, she broke the corporate laws that do it with Motley Crue, and then they had to sue her, got their money, and then it's gag order. You can't even. They got their masters back. So did Metallica. So she could steal the money from these bands and then put it into Beyonce. Why? To turn her into a weapon. They weaponized Beyonce just to keep people down. It's propaganda, man. Beyonce can't sing. That's all auto-tune, man. And Jay-Z, I mean, come on, man. I mean, do I have to even, huh? A lot of this is going to go over your head. You ain't going to get it. A lot of people, I'm going to lose a lot of probably the subscribers I had are going to be gone. I ain't got me. Um, Jennifer Lopez. Here's a clue for you. She doesn't sing. She is a puppet. I forgot the name of the girl who's done all her albums, but this is going to come out. I think it start to. You know, they use auto tuner and this, that, and the other, but she don't sing on her albums. And if she does, it's auto tuned to. They're like Milli Vanilli. I don't know if you remember Milli Vanilli, but they were dancing around and like, woo, you know, they didn't sing on their albums. Didn't sing. They had other people singing. And it came out. They lost their Grammys, this, that, and the other. That'll probably happen too when this comes out, which this is the thing. It's already known. You know, the public don't care. You want to hear this? I mean, Jay-Z and Beyonce has to be the worst shit I've ever heard. It's just like, oh my God, it's been going on for decades. I just can't take it. I see great songwriters not go anywhere because it's just the music industry. It's well, they're like the intelligence agency. They're not in it. Well, don't exist anymore. Even them, they couldn't even come up with a. It's ran by the accountants now, or what's left. There used to be a record store in and they're like, oh, it's downloading. That's bullshit, man. They've done studies of people that download or actually steal the most music illegally, buy the most albums. They've known this. See, they do it and they blame you for it. That's another thing that, you know, that's a thing they do. Projection. Confident in their idiocy. Sony Records owns, like, I think the fourth of the prisons in America. And then they promoted like urban gangster stuff, you know, wanting kids to be violent and gangbang, you know, just so they could populate those prisons, man. That's good money for them. It is sick. It is sad. You need an old haggard dude like me to kick some real, you know. I was in the music, and you know, I mean, I've been offered things that I wouldn't do. I could be well known right now if I wanted to. But I was smart enough to know that, like, no, man. Nope. Ain't gonna be me. Then they slander you and, oh, he's difficult to work with. He's a junkie. He's this, he's that. He's a okay, really? And guess what? You know, and this has to do with a lot of things. Like in certain circles, I'm a nobody. As far as like my music and my art. Just other circles, I'm a genius. I'm like, well, and I'm not trying to brag. It's just that, and there's a lot of people that are like this. Because I'm underground, lowbrow, never budged an inch. People come and go. Charlie Greer is still here, you know. I'm well respected by people that have made millions of, you know, sold millions of albums. Why? Because I stuck to my guns, man. I didn't do, you know, I do this because this is who I am. I'm an artist. There's nothing else I could do, unfortunately. Look at me. Can you imagine me? Hey, you know, running up now. Yeah, I'm smart. I have a job, you know, I'm good at sales. I do all that stuff. And quite honestly, I'm not even doing any art stuff anymore. Retired. I've been painting, haven't been nothing. Because I've done so much. Much content I've created. My paintings are hanging in like mansions. My music's all over the place. People stolen it, covered my music, whatever it is. You know. My book, they're not paying for me. There's anything about my book, Reign of the Madman by Charlie Greer. Shameless plug. You can go to Amazon, Charlie Greer, Reign of the Madman. They never paid me. Like, it's going on, I don't know, 20 years. Next year will be 20 years. They paid me. I own the movie rights, and I've gotten close to optioning them. And I've said this before. You get to this certain level, you're in a board meeting with these thieving propagandists. They have nothing to do with art or anything besides just stealing and weaponizing shit. Confidence in their idiocy. See, these idiots, they're go-getters. You know, they have plans too. But they'll just be replaced by another idiot. I mean, that's the thing. You know. Um, you're thinking he's crazy. Am I? Because we can all be idiots, man. Come on, man. I'm not dumb. I'm not that dumb. And people should know this. We've all been fooled, me included. Okay, we've all been held down by said idiots. Uh, we're all being sheep dipped. I've said this before too. It isn't pretty. It's the truth, though. It's the honest to God's truth. Nobody, if they know, dare to speak of it. In like silent whispers. But it ain't going to be me. You think, well, why did you speak out, Charlie Greer? You know why? Because that's honestly at a certain level. That's how you keep yourself safe. Actually, is they they need a little bit of disinformation. They need to use. I've been used. Will continue to be. Again, I know a lot of people. Nobody's watching this, but whoever is, they're going to wrap your head around some of this. I get it. It's designed that way. They exhaust you with their idiocy. Look what I did. And there's a bunch of them, man. There's an army. It's maybe you don't want to think about it, but you got to. People are waking up. I mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, Kid Rock, Bob Ritchie, whatever the fuck his name is. I met that fool back in the day. At a club, I think it was. Anyway, he was a rapper. I'm a pimp, all that, right? Now he's in Nashville trying to be country, and he's calling himself a hillbilly. Dude, you're a rich kid from Detroit, You don't want to, those hillbillies down there, you don't want to play mind games. Okay? No matter how much money you or your dad has, I should say. Yeah, I know about all that. Best thing you get it over with, because if you longer yeah, they use the Stockholm syndrome and a Patty Hearst, all that. People they have to do things and continue to do things that they don't want to do. You know what? It's been going on so long. They probably like it. First I hated it. Now I have been. I mean, I've literally been offered. There's shitty record deals, but literally like a 360. Like, hey man, we'll make you famous, not rich, but famous. You'll look like you can live in one of our houses we own and drive but we want your merchandise. We want your publishing. You want this, that, and the other. And you better, like every year or two, you're going to have to, you do what we do. You got to tell you to do. That's that. Huh? No. With my book, I own the movie rights. I've gotten through producers. And then you have to get to these money people, the thieving propagandists. Okay. And even the producer, she warned me. Like, look, man, they don't like dealing with people like you because you won't be controlled. You actually have a mind. You're not weak-minded or this, that, and the other. And her brother was one of them. It's like, even my brother is, man, they got one look at me. No. And then I was banned from going into the studio. And they kept my stuff, my promotional shit. I was greeted the next time they asked me to come back. There's security at the first level of security, like the window there. You got to get through and go at a meeting. No, well, can you ask her to bring me my? Nope. Like big security dudes. Like, oh, okay, all right, I get it. Didn't want to do it anyways. That's all I've ever dealt with. Certain levels, you get to a certain level, and oh shit, this is what it is. At first I thought, well, maybe I can dilly dally around a few corners, and no. And you meet people that you respected in certain things, and then you get like, oh my God, really? Like the thrill is gone. It has been for me a long time when I realized what the game was. You're like, damn. And then it's like, well, what else can I do? Like this is what I dedicated my life to. Of course, they talk shit about you to everybody. Oh, he's and they'll say like he's lazy. At the time that these people behind the scenes were telling me I was lazy, I had a band. I had a movie script we were pitching. I mean, every day I was busy. I was doing art show, doing more than everybody around me, 3 times, whatever. I'm the lazy one. So that's what they'll do. He's lazy. He's lazy. You mean okay, whatever, fine. Again, people will come and go. Even after I'm gone. I know come on, man. I know. It's just going to get worse for them when I'm gone. They know that. They don't want to martyr me. So they got to let me, live a haggard old life. And, I get it. Like, hey, like the secret hierarchy they talk about in the music industry. People like Johnny Thunders, people like, everybody worships these people and they're the best, yet nobody will touch them. Everybody rips them off. That's a thing. Everybody you see, that's either music, TV, movie, I don't give a shit, news, broadcast, whatever, TV show, whatever. They're not what you think. They have to do and continue to do what they don't want it. Well, maybe they like to do it. I mean, some people are just narcissists, like, yeah, I'll do whatever. All of them. And they don't have the money you think they do. We're talking about like, what's his name? Kanye, which I don't like. Well, he's the richest. He came out and he's like, bro, I all I've made is 60 million. Everything else is in other people's name. Tupac, when he was assassinated, his mother comes to, he was living in Malibu, a mansion he didn't own. None of the cars. I don't even think the clothes he owned. By the time she went to his estate and she went to his house, just gather his things, they kicked her out of it. And when he went through the probate, the estate, he had $7,000. Tupac was worth $7,000. Pardon me. One of the biggest. I mean, come on, man. $7,000. Damn, they're getting cheap. 7,000. That was his estate was worth. What about his music? He don't own any of that. What about this hat? Well, it's owned by them. What about his gold chain? Oh no, see the gold. No, see, he can wear it, but we don't. It's that. All of them. They lie. Oh, no, it's the people behind the scenes that own all that, man. It ain't them. They're a puppet, man. They're Pinocchio. And that's what it is. You believe me or not, and honestly, I shouldn't be saying that. I kind of understand now why I'm being doxxed, because I'm being doxxed. Their cowardice. Yeah, it's a thing. It probably won't ever change. It's gotten bad, though. It's kind of always been the Beatles, okay? In the late 60s, early 70s, whenever they broke up, sold more albums than Elvis and Liberace combined or whoever. None of them were millionaires. I don't know if you guys know this, but they were not millionaire. The Beatles, what do you mean they got no money? Well, see, they're a boy band that doesn't, The first one to become a millionaire was George Harrison, and he released a solo album, My Sweet Lord and all that. I think the second one was Ringo. And that's why Paul shacked up with his wife, because her family owned, Kodak or something? And John with Yoko, well, her family were big bankers in Japan. Man, the Beatles, come on, it's a grift, man. It's a parlor game, a trick. Elvis. That Colonel Tom Parker, which he wasn't a colonel, and that wasn't his real name, and he was actually wanted for murder in like Sweden or somewhere, took 50 off the top from day one from Elvis. 50%. And was a degenerate gambler and this, that, and the other thing. Then he was, it wouldn't even hit, come on. That's the game. Be careful what you wish for. I mean, shit. It ain't all what you think. Of course, they'll give him a little money to spend. Hey, go dip your beak a bit. You got to keep up appearances, right? And if you do have a brain and you try to swindle these people like Michael Jackson did with Sony, because what he did is he went up and bought up all the publishing, took what money he had, then he blended it with the Sony catalog, right? And so it was 50-50 kind of thing. And then he's like, oh, yeah, I'll resign. I'll always be, man. Well, you know what? He was a free agent. He was leaving and taking half of the Sony catalog. He owned half of Sony. They're saying, oh, at the end, he didn't have any money. Not any money. They just weren't paying him. They were going after him. And I guess they got him. I mean, I don't know. I've heard he faked his death. Who knows? If anyone could pull off faking their death, I think it would be Michael Jackson. He might have, perhaps. You never know. It's like that. I was actually, I think I've told this story, and I might not be able to say much, but I used to do cartage and roadie work for like bigger companies. You move stuff around, studio equipment, houses, everything. And I was asked to work on this one secret kind of thing. Like, why would they be asking that? I didn't do it. And then the person that I did do it, he did it. It turned out it was Michael Jackson stuff. And Michael Jackson had hangars at LAX, the big airport in LA. Those big hangar, you could fly a plane in this warehouse. Then after he did that, then funny things started happening to him. It's a good thing I have some intuition. I've always had my gut feeling and like, man, this ain't right. Why are they coming? Yeah, it's good money, but nope. Then you have to worry about that, such knowledge. Like, man, I ain't going to say what you. And a lot of these people are gone or don't, whatever. Confident in their idiocy. Now, see, sometimes idiocy there's levels to idiocy. Sometimes these people are, but when you're holding people down and you're doing certain things, that's idiocy, man, too. I'm also talking about mouth breathers. They're like, oh, There's levels. Honest men, come on, man. Nobody, you think it's like, Little House on the Prairie or something. And that was all, come on. Oh. Yeah, I'm probably going to lose a few people today. Oh, well. What are you going to do, man? Again, please like, share, and subscribe. You want to support the channel. The information's in the description for Zelle. And guess what? I do this every day. And guess what? I'll be back tomorrow. And this might be a thing, a recurring theme, like confident in their idiocy. Because I might have done one that kind of touched on, I don't know. I've done a bunch. It's hard for me to keep up. And I don't like writing stuff down. I should be writing stuff down. But it messes with my flow. I can't riff like, I'm doing this live, man. There ain't no editing. What you see is what you get. There's no studio magic. And, well, let's take it in and let's shave off this and then we'll delete that. None of that. So, yeah. The hard part's making it look easy, man. It's brutal. But it's what I like to do. But yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. I love y'all. Be blessed. Cheers.